Hi everyone, welcome to this reading. I have my crystal ball off to the side, so I will be scrying throughout this message. If you're new to my channel, my readings are a little different. If you're returning, welcome back. You know how we do if it doesn't resonate with you. If you're forcing the story to fit, arguing with it in any way, just leave it behind for the people who it's meant for. So let's go ahead and let's begin. Taking a step aside. And allowing spirit to pass through me. Opening up to receive information. Reading is done. Reading is done. We have the Chamber of Healing, the Ever Unfolding Rose, and the Freedom. So with the Chamber of Healing here, I think that this card kind of speaks for itself. I think that whoever this message is for, this is definitely a focus that you've had inside of your life here. And, you know, maybe there's a particular situation that you're really focused on healing from. But overall, I think that for the majority of you, this is going to be something that you have committed yourself to, is healing from something. I'm being very drawn to the fact that she's sitting in front of an ancient door. So I think that for the majority of the people who this message is going to be for, maybe for the people that this message is going to be for, we've come to a place where there's essentially the answer of a very old question that we've had is waiting for us to open some sort of door within ourselves. And that door may be very hard to face. A lot of times we as people, we think, yeah, I'm really good at looking at my emotions. And then there's that one thing that we always skirt around, or that one thing that we never really notice, or that one thing that, our deep psyche seems to like sabotage us or like move us away from the moment that we get to it. I think that somebody is actually facing down that door right now. And for some of you, that door really isn't something that started with you. That door is something that has to do with something that was placed on you. And so don't freak out with me saying that. If that's your message, you're going to know. And I'm not telling you something that is new to you inside of this reading. I'm going to start off with things that you don't know, or that you already know. So some of you may understand, for example, that a block has been placed in your way. And maybe you have skirted around working against that or trying to tackle that block because it felt like too much work, or you didn't necessarily know how to go about it. I think that whoever this message is for, you're actively doing that. You're actively putting forward some sort of energy to try to work through that block. If you are somebody who maybe there was a situation very far in your past that gave rise to some emotions, and maybe you haven't been able to untangle those emotions or work out what that situation was, this might be a time where you're actually working through those things. The reason why I'm reading it this way is because that's an ancient door. So some of you, you're at the precipice and on the threshold of knocking on a door and being about to open a door that has been in your life for a very, very, very long time. And this isn't necessarily a pleasant experience. In fact, I'm not feeling it's a pleasant experience at all, as I'm feeling in this energy. But something has recently happened to make you aware of this door and make you aware that, hey, you may have thought that you cleared out the chamber, but there's a whole other room. And notice that the imagery on this door, it's almost like the door is concealing this pyramid of light with all these rays that are being emitted from it. Whatever it is that's behind this door, it has its own resonance. It's something that is resonating from us through our deep mind or through our deep soul, however you want to resonate with that. And it's manifesting things in our world. It's manifesting patterns. It's manifesting cycles, whether through our own actions, thoughts, behaviors, or through something a little more metaphysical. There's this feeling that this is essentially a powerhouse of creation that's locked away behind this door. And whether or not it's a negative or positive creation depends on whether or not we're able to go through that door and assimilate the information. This challenge is unique. And this challenge is unique because this isn't necessarily a door that I feel that everyone has. We all have things that have happened. We all have things that we kind of skirt around or we'd rather not look at up until a certain point. But this particular door feels very much like, without going into too much detail, YouTube guidelines and everything, it feels a little bit more like this is something that is bestowed on few through very, very tragic means. And so someone is facing down this door. Our identity has had to go through this sort of stripping of layers in order for us to even find this. And I think that a certain level of humility has also had to be reached in order for us to face down this door. Some of you, this door is going to be accepting who you actually are, okay? Not who you pretended to be or the masks that you wore because you had to, but actually accepting and embracing who you actually are for some of you. Because as I'm looking at this woman here, what I'm seeing is that she's looking at this statue of like this goddess, but what she's really looking at is herself. And she may have been avoiding this image because in accepting this image, there's a lot of responsibility that comes with that in her conception anyway. And there's a lot of beliefs that are wrapped up in this particular goddess, who she is, what she's venerated for, what her functions are, what she likes as offerings, right? There's a lot of little details wrapped up in this deity sort of idea whenever we have any kind of deity. And maybe this woman is a little hesitant to open that door because she's going to have to realize that all those ideas, they're not necessarily true. They're ideas that were adopted along the way to keep her from embracing her true self. I think that whoever this message is for, it's like there was a great clearing away of something, feeling lots of emotions coming through as I'm tapping into that. A great clearing away of things that were very important to us in order for us to pass through our own personal chamber of healing to even reach this door. It's like there was a sentry outside that door that had a mother's face or a father's face or a best friend's face or a lover's face. Something that we felt extremely tied to and connected to that had to kind of step out of the way in order for us to even see that the door was there. Or in the process of stepping away, the pain allowed us to see that the door is there. And whatever this door symbolizes for the person that I'm reading for, it's like we haven't opened it yet. We know it's there. We just haven't necessarily opened it yet because we're afraid that rather than this pyramid of light on the other side, what it will actually be is a Pandora's box. How will I ever get that box closed? So this is an interesting moment for whoever this message is resonating for, because it asks a lot of bravery of you. It asks a lot of courage. And you always have the right to back down from that door. Yeah, I'm going to leave that there. I feel like, you have a right to back down from it. I think all of you know what I would do if I was in your shoes. Glutton for punishment over here, buddy. This energy, it's almost like I don't know why I'm hearing the word entropy, but I'm hearing the word entropy. So I'm going to use it. I think it's a little bit out of context, but I'm going to use it anyway because that's what I'm hearing. It's like an energy entropy as we're like sitting outside this door, absorbing like the minerals from this healing bath. It's like the shock wave of emotion and facing down whatever this is has to be integrated before we can actually face it. And in the shock waves, I feel that this is the process that we're coming to. It's the ever unfolding rose. And maybe there's an experience of being cracked open, right? We're moving from Cancer season into Leo season here. And, Cancer season's great at cracking us open, and then Leo gets the bravery to keep plugging forward. And I think that that's what someone's experiencing. It's like these different layers have kind of cracked us open, again, bringing us to that center of humility. And I feel that most of you are going to decide that as we move into Leo season within the first few weeks, that this is a door that is worthy to be opened, that I owe it to myself to know what's here and to know myself fully. What stands in front of this desert is a rose. What? What stands in front of this rose is a desert. Right here. So we'll take it. What stands in front of this desert is a rose. We'll take it. So on the other side of this door, it feels a little bit like we know that, it's going to be difficult. It's a difficult journey. But we understand that what's on the other side is what we've actually been looking for. When we take the idea of the rose from mysticism, from alchemy, from different esoteric traditions, what we're looking at is something that deep within the center, it contains its code. It contains the true vibration of the thing. And again, it's bringing us back to this resonance. How do I get behind this door and flip the switch on that resonance so that now I can live the life that I was meant to live, not the life that was forced upon me? Okay, that's powerful stuff. This journey is someone's journey towards freedom. Okay, right here. And notice on the other side we have trapped, and it's this woman that's inside this little crystal bubble, or this watery bubble, and in fetal position. And here she's kind of got her arms out, and she's got this like shawl-like thing. In all three of these we have the covering. So what's covering you, right? What's crossing you? Interesting. And here it's like flapping in the wind. It's almost like her wings in this card. The very thing that's crossing you may be the thing that sets you free. The very thing that covers you, the very mask that you wore, maybe your key into understanding certain things. So I think a lot of times we talk about masking, and we talk about the different personalities that we wear in certain situations, or like how we're not necessarily expressing our authenticity, but we kind of take them off and then discard them. We don't understand that they actually hold a lot of information. And so for some of you, that's a little bit of a guidance, is to look at those things and extrapolate the information that you can from it, because it's actually pointing you to something. Okay. Yeah, whatever this resonance is, it has definitely created a lot of self-sabotage inside of our life, whether it's, again, through our own behaviors and actions, or if it's simply through what we're attracting and the experience that we're attracting. And a lot of times these are lodged as beliefs that we have. Okay, so definitely some beliefs here that are sitting behind this door. I feel that for some of you, this may be in relation to your body. I'm saying that because she's showing a lot of like her skin, her shoulders and her back, and all the individuals here are showing like their arms. And so it's just kind of making me think that for some of you, there's some sort of war that we've been waging against our body or our appearance. And that may be what it is for some of you. It's not going to be for all of you. For some of you, male or female, it's a battle against your own feminine nature. So whether this is your intuition or your softness or your ability to receive, maybe if you are a woman, maybe it is the fact that you are a woman and you feel that you're always being suppressed or oppressed somehow, or that you're always being taken advantage of. For some of you, this is going to be your relationships to the feminine. So your relationships to other women, your relationships to your mothers. This is, really our intellect is kind of getting in the way of some things for some people. Again, it's a belief. It's a belief that we have. And maybe it's a belief on how we're cut off from the divine and how we aren't actually embodying it. Maybe it's a belief about our true nature and that we're intrinsically bad somehow. I think that there is, a myriad of beliefs that this could really house for someone. For someone, it might be a whole host of beliefs that have one particular foundation to all of them. And this is what this door contains, which is why it feels like such a clusterfuck back there. Like we might be a little hesitant to put our hand on that knob. Like, what is seen cannot be unseen in this instance. And the number 7 is very important to this. I think that for some of you, when you open that door, you're going to find something very related to certain things that happened in the first 7 years of your life. There may even have been a situation about 7 months ago that may have started you on a path leading you towards this door. Let's see. Okay. Eight of Wands. This unfolding of the rose and the peeling back of the layers that's happening before you enter this door, it seems to be happening pretty quickly. It may feel a little overwhelming for some of you. You may be communicating with somebody about it, but this is essentially a process that's happening to shift your energy. First and foremost, that's what the Eight of Wands indicates. Wands are energy, they're our willpower, and they're shifting, they're moving. They're moving from one place to their target. So your energy is moving even closer to the place where you need to be in order to be able to handle what's behind this door and be able to process it and integrate it for yourself. Again, some of you, this is very magically oriented. Okay. And then here with the freedom card, we have this. So I feel that this freedom, we may even have some ideas about freedom that is hard to come by, right? All these stories that we tell ourselves, if we actually were just being, it would be this free flow, right? It's the stories and the layers that we wear like armor, the beliefs that we have that we wear like armor that makes things extremely difficult. I get to see this a lot in when I teach the energy basics class, which if you're a channel member, you're going to be more familiar with that. Here on the public side, you might not be. But when I teach the energy basics class, one of the things that I say is that energy is extremely easy. It's our mindset, it's our beliefs about it that are extremely difficult. Same thing is true for everything. It's true for magic. It's true for psychism. It's true for any number of things. It's not good enough for a conscious mind to say, "Oh, this is easy. Oh, this is easy." Right? We're not talking about like lying to ourselves. It's getting back behind our doors and programming ourselves to understand, no, this really is simple. Taking the lenses off, and I think that's what someone is doing here. Is the lenses are being removed as we're standing outside this door. It's almost like it's ensuring us that once we open that door, the ride won't be as wild as we think, right? It's not going to be as hard as we think it will be. Okay. Yeah, successful movement here. I think that whoever this message is for, as you sit outside this door, before you actually prepare it, well, it feels like a preparation while you're preparing yourself to move through the energy. I think that you are going to have a lot of success. You're going to have success here. It's interesting because I don't always read the chariot as movement. So it strikes me as kind of interesting that that came up that way. Mostly it came up that way because it's touching the Eight of Wands, which does signify movement. And it's next to the Six of Wands, which is moving. He's literally like moving through this crowd. And that's the reason why I am reading the chariot that way. It's like moving through something from a balanced standpoint is how you're basically going to survive what's behind this door and achieve this freedom. For some of you, I have to say that this is going to be freedom from a type of addiction that you've had that you get because you start speaking to the right person, okay? Okay. And the journey. So there's a new journey that's opening up from this point forward. Whatever is behind this door, it represents the start of a new journey. It's not an end, it's a beginning. And in this sort of end where we change the resonance, this is where a new beautiful version of experiences starts to begin. I do want to point out something here. So I'm going to read this way, and I'm going to read this way. And with the Three of Wands going into the Six of Wands, into the Seven of Swords, I think that there's been a lot of times where, whoever this message is for, where we've tried to start things and we were hoping that we would be successful, and it just didn't pay off. It's like it never actually went anywhere, and then we found ourselves with like a closed door in our face. So lots of feelings of like starting things just to end up in failure and end up feeling like, something won't allow me to pass here, which must be why the blocks came up in the very beginning. And not to say that if you experience those blocks that it's that somebody put it in front of you. Like I said, that's only true for those of you who know that that's true. With the Three of Wands going into the chariot, into the Ten of Wands, this is where we're journeying to this idea that once we find that center of ourself, right? Once that rose unfolds and we find what's really at our core, we're willing to put in this extraneous hard work to make something work. And eventually when we pass through this block, it's our freedom. But we couldn't do it previously because we didn't have the information that's in here. This information is behind that door. It's almost like due to something, due to these emotions or this energy that I haven't been able to examine, I haven't been able to look at. I lost myself somewhere in there. I lost myself behind that. Like we ran out of like a haunted building so fast that we left somebody behind, and we had to sacrifice that part of ourselves for something. Maybe to survive, maybe to, be at peace, maybe to, fill in the blank. But now it's like you're ready to go and retrieve this piece of yourself from yourself, okay? Okay, let's get 2 more cards here, and then, oh, they're telling me these, and again, when I pull from this deck, usually I'm meant to read it and not say anything else, and it's going to speak to you, hopefully. Okay, that goes there. This goes here. So remember it in the context of this placement. Just because it runs in your blood doesn't mean it has to run your life. You are here to choose differently. Okay. And the next one is blessed by fire. Looking back, you can acknowledge that every trial was an initiation. You are not cursed. You are blessed by fire. And then I'm supposed to read the bottom. And the bottom is here. Ancient roots. Your soul chose this lineage for a reason. You carry not just their plan, but the power to transmute it. So I'm going to leave this here. Whoever's message this is, I wish you the best of luck with this. Feel free to like this video. Feel free to leave a comment. And until next time.